Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bridge System Board of Trustees regular meeting. Today is Thursday, October 19th, 2023, at approximately 5 p.m. We're here in City Council chambers, and first item we're going to establish of quorum. Present today, we have Mr. Villalpando is here, and Mr. Sandoval is here, and myself, Mr. Escobar. So we do have a quorum. Okay, is there any citizens communication?
No, sir.
Okay, first item, minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Mr. Villalpando, second. All in favor, raise your right hands. So those minutes, the minutes have been approved. Monthly reports, Mr. Valera, would you take us to those reports?
Yes, of course. Good afternoon, good board. So as y'all know, the month of September ends our fiscal year for the City of Eagle Pass. And we're happy to say that the bridge system did great in this past fiscal year. And I'll just go through some of the highlights, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask questions. So total gross revenues for the month of September 2022 were $1,400,545. This represents an increase of $322,216 versus 2021 revenues for the same period. The actual year-to-date for fiscal year 2022 revenues are $15,969,242. The total expenditures for capital outlay for the month of September. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm reading the ones from last year. Yeah.
What page are you in, officer?
I'm looking. It's because I was looking at the one from last year.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. Perfect. I found the right one. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
I was reading the one from last September instead of this September. Now I got it already. Okay, so just to start all over, September concludes our FY 2023 year. We did begin our fiscal year 2024 on October 1st, and I am happy to say that we did great for the fiscal year 2023. We actually exceeded the expectations of revenue. For the month of September, we had a total of $1,422,670. This represents an increase of $21,789 compared to the same period in 2022. The actual year-to-date fiscal year revenues for fiscal year 2022 were $18,442,022, which is an increase of 8.28% of the projected revenues for the City of Eagle Pass. So if you want to put a number to that, that's a little bit over $1.4 million that we exceeded in revenues compared from what our projections were last year when we calculated the budget to this year. The actuals, it was over 1.4 million. So that's great. And that means that the bridge system is obviously doing good. We did have a small dip in traffic the last 2 weeks of September. As y'all are aware, the migrant situation caused us to not only close down bridge number 1, but the state of Texas also decided to implement some heavy inspections on the commercial vehicles that did cause disruption in our traffic flow. Nonetheless, we still managed to overcome that. Luckily, Bridge 1 is now open and safety inspections have been lifted. So that's a great thing for us. We continue to hope that we continue on this path of growth as the new fiscal year begins. Total operating expenditures before capital outlay for the month of September 2023 are $165,409, which is 0.59 over the monthly budget allocation of 8.33. Year-to-date expenditures are $1,645,696, or 88.78% through the month of September. So this is as far as our operational costs are concerned. We came below the projections 11.22%. So that itself is saying where our operations are are as efficient as can be, and we didn't use all our budget. There was 11% left over, so that's great to know as well. Capital outlay year-to-date expenditures are $69,599, and planned life-to-date expenditures are $3,133,820. And just to so that you are aware that those expenses are in part of the construction of Bridge 2 administration building. Outside of that, I don't know if there's anything in particular you guys might want to ask.
When will we know how much it affected us, the being closed these days at Bridge 1?
Well, what I presented to you guys, obviously the closing of September, the closing of the year, we could have been better. We don't see a decrease because we were doing so well throughout the year that all that it did is, instead of, coming out of the year with more, we ended up losing some. We do know that our projections on how much we lost from those 4 weeks that we were closed are close to 500,000, and that's because of the drop in traffic, right? So just because we ended the year with a surplus of revenue, we could have actually had more of a surplus. So you really can't see it on this report, but when we begin the report for October 1st, for the month of October, we'll be able to see where the difference is. So technically, all around, we calculate our losses to be around 500,000 for the last 4 weeks that we were closed.
Just for the record, we do have Mr. Salinas joining us at this time.
What's that, guys?
Good, Mr.
Sorry, running late.
Welcome, Mr. Salinas.
Thank you for showing us.
And that's the financial report, is the traffic report next, or that
Yes,
was?
the traffic report.
Traffic report.
And this is where on the revenue side, that's why we don't see, because it was only the last 2 weeks, but you'll see it here on the traffic report, where it impacted us. So the non-commercial vehicles for September, we had a total of 223,473. Compared to 2022, we had 240,848. So if you notice right there, you see a difference of minus 7.21% compared to last year. Every month we had been seeing between 10, 15, and 20% increases in non-commercial. So this last 2 weeks, this is where we see how it impacted us, right? The same goes for commercial vehicles. From 17,071 that we had in 2022, we had 15,769 in 2023. So that's a dip of 1,302, almost 8%. We also saw a decrease in buses, an increase in buses. So we continue to see more and more buses continue to cross through here. We had 574 this year compared to 422. We did see a small decrease in motorcycles. From 343 last year, we had 306. And one of the positives to the whole situation is we had more people walking the bridge, right? Because the long lines, people would rather leave their vehicles parked than walk across and then just come back to their vehicles wherever they parked them. So last year we had 30,341. This year we had 50,404. So that's an increase of 66.13%. And we'll see the impact on our parking lot as well here in a bit. So that's pretty much the summary of the traffic report. Like I said, those numbers that we see right now is in fact due to the issues that we had with closing Bridge 1 and the inspections at the DPS station. So we're glad that that's over and done with, and we hope it stays that way and that we can continue our trend of growing the crossings here at the bridge.
Any questions on the traffic report?
No.
Parking lot report?
So the parking lot report, we had a total of 3,323 tickets issued in September 2023. Compared to 2022, we had 2,921. It's the wrong one. No, it's not the right one. I was reading just the so for revenue in 2022, we had 9,676, In 2023, we have 14,484. So that's an increase of almost $5,000, and that is again due to the closure of Bridge 1. A lot of people were choosing to utilize our parking lot to park their vehicles, so we do see that significant increase in vehicles there. We do have an average ticket price of $4.54 per user, and the charging station had a total usage of 50 sessions with an average of 4 hours and 21 per session. So that itself has also grown a lot. Last year, the same month, we had 14 sessions, so that's significantly increased. So we're happy that people are putting our charging station to use. But other than that, that's the report. If you have any questions on that.
I used the parking lot a couple of times this month.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, more than a couple, actually.
Batallé
Batallé un poco, no creas.
Yeah.
Batallé.
And, you know, one thing that I will, and to those that are watching, right, one thing that we will make it clear is we were being very lenient with the parking situation because we understood Bridge 1 being closed was an inconvenience for all our customers. But we do want to reiterate to everyone to please follow the rules from the parking lot. Please park in designated parking only. We don't want to have to tow any vehicles away from there because we understand it's a service that we're providing, but at the same time, we want to make it easy for people to
Bring
utilize
change.
the service, right?
Bring change.
Yes.
Exact change.
And I'll be providing an update on that as well, so we'll have something positive regarding that.
What was the amount the whole year?
The amount of the whole year, we don't have that tallied as far as the monthly report is concerned, but we could certainly pull that and present it to the board. That won't be a problem. And Ms. Lau can definitely work on that.
We don't need to do a motion on the reports? No, it's just, all right. Other business. Discuss and possible action upon presentation of bridge operation staff salary comparisons for Texas-Mexico International Toll bridges. Do I have a motion?
For this one, we are asking this item to be tabled because it is a personnel matter, and the charter only gives the authority for personnel matters to the city manager.
Do we need a motion on it?
Yes.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Sandoval, motions?
No second.
Second by Mr. Villalpando. All in favor? Raise your right hand. Okay, so the motion. Update on Bridge 1 and 2 improvement projects.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. So the completed projects for Bridge 1, unfortunately, we have none to report at this time. We're very close to completing our Bridge 2 administration building, so we're excited about that, but it's not here yet. Our ongoing projects for International Bridge number 1, the office building renovation, that continues to be on hold as the Bridge 2 project continues. Bridge 1 access realignment, that's in process. So we're in the process right now to get the contract approved to start the design of realigning Bridge number 1. As y'all are aware, there are a lot more express card users now than there was a year or two ago, and the one lane that we've issued to express card users has outgrown itself. So what we're proposing to do is installing an additional, well, not installing an additional lane, but converting one of the cash lanes that we have now to an express lane and providing more access to that lane via Garrison and via Adams. So what essentially that's going to do is Bridge 1 will convert to a 2 express lane and a 1 cash lane bridge. That I think is going to not only incentivize the use of more express card users, but it will also provide a faster crossing for those people that opt to sign up for the express card. So what we plan to do is get this contract under place and get the design and then bring it to the board to present it to see if it's something that the board wishes to support, we move forward with. So that's going to be a good project that we hope we can have in place before the holidays, so that way our local express card users can get to Mexico a lot faster while we have, the Paisano surge of traffic. International Bridge 2, we have the commercial lane realignment. We actually had the kickoff meeting today. It was a great meeting. We're expecting to have the completion of the PSNE by the end of June, and we expect construction of that project to begin in October of 2024, and hopefully have it completed by 2026. So this is the project where we're going to have the overpass go over where the trucks exit on at bridge number 2, and adding additional lanes and express lane to bridge 1. So this is going to be a huge project that's going to not only increase capacity but improve the efficiency of our crossing. So we're excited about that, and we will continue to keep the board updated as the progression continues. And if at any point the board wants to see what that project is going to look like, please let us know, and we'll be glad to bring our consultants so that they can present to you guys and answer any questions you may have. The next one, the building construction, I mentioned it. We're at 80% complete. We can expect the full project to be completed at the end of November. We expect to do the ribbon cutting sometime in December, so I asked the board to keep that in mind. We'll make sure we send out an invitation with plenty of time so that you guys can make arrangements to be there. The toll system consultant, we have entered into an agreement. This says it's still under review, but actually we do have them under contract. So we're looking forward to beginning the installation of the new system. Bridge master plan, the RFQ closed. We do have 3 submissions that were received, and we're going to be evaluating those submissions so we can make a selection of the firm that's going to be awarded the project. The bridge master plan is going to be very important because it's going to analyze both bridges, the trends in traffic growth that we're seeing, and that's going to be our blueprint to where we need to be and at what time we need to start making the necessary improvements to either bridge, whether it be the bridge itself or facilities or the access to and from the bridges. So it's going to be a great plan to have in place as we continue to move forward and attract more traffic through here. Bridge 2 expansion, that solicitation process is under discussion. We're still discussing whether it's something that we should go out for now or hold off on it to see what happens with the bridge master plan. So we're discussing it with our city engineer and city manager to make sure we make the right decision moving forward. The Bridge to Administration building, the City of Eagle Pass was presented a proposal to sell the building to GSA. For those that are not aware, the CBP building is actually property of the city. The city leases it out to GSA, which GSA then allows CBP to use the facility. The city has owned it since the bridge was constructed back in 1999. And the lease that was signed back in October of 2013, it does have a clause in there that they do have the ability to propose a purchase option to the city, and they have executed that option, and now it's on our side to see if we want to accept it. What the city decided to do was send them a counter proposal, which they're currently evaluating. So we're looking forward to see what their response is. I know we've involved our legal team in that to see what's in the best interest of the City of Eagle Pass, whether we sell the building or continue to lease it to them. But we'll make sure we continue to keep the board informed regarding the process of that.
Are you just gonna sell the building or with the parking lot?
That is
You
correct.
got that area that covers all the way to the front of the canopy when they're coming in, that area coming down doesn't belong to the
Yes.
city.
Yes.
So I'm looking at what are you gonna sell? Just the building, parking lot?
The total, I guess, area that would be sold, I think it's close to an acre, and it does include that parking lot that you're talking about. So it's from the building, including all the parking lot, all the way to the one corner of the canopy. So technically, all of that we would sell out, and it would all become property of GSA at that point. And which to us, with the new bridge building and the new entrance, it really doesn't affect us that we're no longer going to have that piece of property. We'll have our entrance through Ward Street, and it's not really going to affect us. It will just affect the customers that are crossing. So if the bridge board likes, we can certainly provide an exhibit of what the property line, as far as what we're going to consider selling, and that way you guys are fully aware of that. All right, okay, so the proposed projects, so at International Bridge number 1, we have proposed light improvements, electrical infrastructure, custom poles, and under bridge accent lighting. That's still proposed. We don't have funding for that, so there's no progress in that. International Bridge 2, we were provided funding this fiscal year for the parking lot surveillance system and for the replacement of the parking management system. So as you mentioned, Mr. Villalpando, we are looking into a new, more advanced parking lot system that hopefully will provide change, and that, you know, you can, don't have to use the exact change in order to get out of the parking lot. So we're looking forward to that. We want to make sure we make the right investment and that we get the best system that's going to be reliable and efficient for all our customers. So those are actually both in process, and we hopefully soon have those completed. Other bridge system initiatives and information, the toll schedule ordinance amendment 2 readings approved pending the final reading, and that, if the board remembers at our special meeting the last time we presented, you know, to be able to maintain bridge 1 24 hours at city manager's discretion to increase the toll just to cover the reimbursable overtime that CBP would charge us. So it was presented to City Council. City Council did approve the first reading, and it's gone through the second reading, and if I'm not mistaken, next week we have the special meeting with City Council, so that third reading will be presented. Once that, if and when it goes through, then we are going to start initiating the plan on how to activate the toll increase and set the dates for when those dates will be that Bridge 1 will be open 24 hours. So as soon as that happens, you know, we'll go ahead and move forward with that process as well.
Okay, and that one, we approved it, go ahead and get the council to go ahead and approve that, for the city to go ahead and do whatever they're gonna do.
Have the discretion.
This year, how about next year?
So the amendment to the ordinance is going to be at city manager's discretion. So there is no set date. The bridge system will present a recommendation to the city manager on what days we want to stay open 24 hours based on the increase of traffic. With that request, we're also going to present a request to increase the toll to cover those 24 hours. So pretty much our increase is going to be solely to cover whatever CBP is charging us.
But just this year, next year, we're gonna ask CDP to go ahead and put that in the budget, so we can go ahead and take care of that.
Yes, so our goal is to show CBP that the 24 hours that we're requesting is going to be much needed, right? And so that they can see how it's going to significantly impact the flow of traffic. So our goal is to kind of show them how good it is when you have a bridge open 24 hours. We saw how bad it is when we only have one bridge open. So we want to show them having both bridges open 24 hours is going to really help not only the traffic flow, but I guarantee that more people will decide to cross both into Mexico and into the United States, knowing that they don't have to worry about, oh, am I going to be an hour in line, right? So we are hoping that this will incentivize them to ask for more funding to be able to keep open. And that's our goal, right? Our goal is to kind of take the initiative, be proactive, and say, we're willing to do this to show how important it is for us to have this bridge open 24 hours. But to answer your question, yes, our goal is to show them and come to them, and not only to them, but also to our Congressman Tony Gonzalez and our federal representation, right, is saying, hey, we tried this, it worked. What do we need to do to get our local CBP more funding so that we can maintain both bridges open 24 hours? So definitely. The Paisano Rest Stop. This is in part an operation that we want to implement similar to what they have in Laredo. And Ms. Sophie used to be in Laredo. I'm sure you know about this operation that they have over there. It's been going on 35 years, and they seem to keep doing it year after year, so we have to assume that it works, and that's the reason they keep doing it. So that's something that we want to implement here as well. We've began the coordination as far as what it would take on our side, and this coming Monday, we are going to have a meeting with all the agencies for the bridge, the city of Eagle Pass, the city of Piedras Negras, to kick off, you know, this coordination with them, so that hopefully we can make it happen this year. We've been saying the last 2 years that we're going to do it, but Unfortunately, you know, we never really got to doing it, so we're hoping that this year we can actually kick it off, and hopefully it's one of those things like in Laredo that we can do it every year for the future, right? We also have billboards. We've had this here for quite a bit. We haven't really been able to get those done, but we continue to work on trying to promote the Port of Eagle Pass by putting up billboards in strategic locations along major highways, not only in the United States, but in Mexico, around industrial parks. What we want people to know is that there are other options to cross your products into Mexico or into the United States, right? That's the only way we're going to continue to grow, is if people know we exist, right? So it may take some investment on our part, but I think the fact that we're putting ourselves out there and we're being a viable option for these transport companies is going to definitely help continue the growth trend that we're seeing now. So we're going to continue to be aggressive. We're going to continue to promote the Port of Eagle Pass and continue to try to attract not only more commercial traffic, but non-commercial traffic. The safety component in Coahuila makes us a preferred port for a lot of people crossing into Mexico. We want to take advantage of that, and we want to give them the best experience when they cross through here. Outside of that, that's my report for you. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to.
Any questions for Mr. Valdez?
No, none at all.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
No motion.
Motion by Mr. Alfando, second by Mr. Sandoval. All in favor, raise your right hand. Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here.